Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. WK Kanji here, and first off, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you that enjoyed and commented on the Trunks video I dropped last week. It has been really awesome to see so many of you reacting positively to it, with a big special thank you to my man Geekdom101 for sharing it out. Cheers Danny. As I put a lot of time into the video, so the support you guys gave it was really amazing, so thank you so much. But today I wanted to talk about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which is now due out next month. This month is going to come with a lot of news to talk about in regards to the movie, so if you do enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like and to subscribe for future content, as it really does help the channel out. But today, given the amount of things I wanted to talk about briefly, I've decided to compile it into a top 5 theories video that we could see from the new movie. So let's kick things off and talk about number 5. Number 5, the father-daughter Kamehameha. This one I've seen a few people talking about in the comment sections of videos of late, and given all of the flags of Cell nostalgia being waved in our faces when it came to the new movie, whether it's the return of the Red Ribbon, the Gamma androids, the Hachimaru bug robot, Gohan being the protagonist and wearing his Cell Art gear, the Piccolo shoulder pads, etc., the list does go on. The very possibility of having a callback to the end of the Cell games is very possible. And what finer moment to call back to than the one that people still consider to be one of the best moments in Dragon Ball today? The Goku and Gohan father-son Kamehameha. Pan has been slowly reintroduced into Dragon Ball Super as a character we should expect great things of, and seems as though they'll be diverging from her portrayal in GT, thankfully. But as we approach this movie, it's clear that Piccolo's been training Pan the same way that he used to train Gohan. One of the interesting things about the news of this movie is that we're being suggested that the final climactic fight of the movie is going to be a multi-man fight, and not the standard sort of 1 versus 1 that we're used to. Now I don't know if that suggests a battle that feels like a war. I kind of hope not, because I imagine that might be a little bit hard to follow and keep up with, but it could also be like Resurrection F all over again with Frieza's 1,000-man army. But regardless, if Pan is to be involved, you don't really want to have her doing too much by herself in a battle as she's so young. A harsh battle with her could make a lot of people feel quite uncomfortable. So having Pan try to help her father Gohan with that final push to defeat the main antagonist by assisting in a Kamehameha would be a great memorable moment for Pan, and an awesome nostalgic throwback to Gohan and Goku, and I'd love to see it personally. But what do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Number 4. The End of Z Retold. Now you might be wondering how the hell they might be able to fit this into the film, but I've spoken to a few friends about this theory, and to me it sounds like a logical direction. I don't honestly believe we'll ever see the End of Z being retold in the same way that it was in Dragon Ball Z. Having said that, I do believe that what we could see is in the closing credits of the movie, it's likely that we could see the End of Z being briefly recapped without dialogue. Just sort of like a montage type of deal that incorporates a couple of characters we didn't see then or know about in the original version. For instance, Beerus and Whis, and perhaps Frieza's whereabouts, just putting some extra lore and perspective into the scenes showing where everybody was at the time of the fight with Goku and Oob. And with that being done, I think the door would then be open for them to continue past the end of Dragon Ball Z, releasing the cuffs from Toei Animation and Toyo Taro, and honestly opening up the rest of Dragon Ball's future once more. Number 3. A new Broly transformation. Did actually do a video on this a couple weeks ago, and it seems as though this may be one of those ideas that actually ends up panning out. In the Psycho Jump spreads released this week in Japan, we saw details regarding side characters' roles in the new movie, one of which was talking about Broly's role in the new film. The article was discussing Broly's progression, and they should be aiming to achieve Super Saiyan Blue. The article doesn't, outright say, hey, Broly's going to get Super Saiyan Blue in this film, but they usually don't discuss these kind of things unless there's a reason to make people excited for it. And in the video that I did, I talked about the fact I thought Broly would get normal Super Saiyan God first, because I thought it would be the most calm form for him. He doesn't need to get angry and turn Super Saiyan in that form, and therefore it seemed like a logical path. But with this article in Psycho Jump suggesting Broly should aim for Blue, well, that means that realistically he'll need to get the God form first, and then tackle Blue. Does that mean he already has the God form going into this movie? Might we see him just kind of like pop it out of nowhere, or might he actually achieve it in the movie? Personally, I think probably. I think it's a great way to sell new merchandise, which we all know is the real reason Dragon Ball is still being made today. It just makes sense. With the release of a new movie, these are the chances for Toei Animation to make the most money from Dragon Ball, while it isn't regularly on the air anyway. And with that in mind, it's likely that there will be at least another couple of forms in this movie so they can sell toys, collectibles and merchandise. But as I mentioned earlier, I covered the idea in a topic a couple of weeks ago, so feel free to go and check that out for an in-depth look at why I think this is a good idea for Broly and why it possibly will happen. Number 2. Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. Coming straight off the heels of number 3, this one is quite a nice topic to bleed into. And you might be thinking, hey Kanji, Ultra Ego is a manga only form, so this doesn't really make sense. Well, for now, that is absolutely correct. However, V-Jump magazine in Japan released a compendium of Gohan's battles and training over the years through the eyes of Piccolo. all from Gohan's introduction in Dragon Ball Z, all the way up to this movie. This article stated that the movie takes place after the Moro and Granola arcs, implying that they all happen in the same continuity. I'm strategically avoiding using the word canon here, and you can probably understand why. However, there is a red flag that stands out to me. It's due to the fact that it's in V-Jump magazine, and because of this all the references are from the manga. The only Toei Animation product on the actual page is the picture of Piccolo and Gohan from the movie in the bottom left corner of the page. So this could mean it's simply just a promotional opportunity for the manga, but there may be more to it than that. All this in mind, it suggests that we could see Ultra Ego, and especially Ultra Instinct in this movie, even if only for a training scene. We know that Toyotaro came up with Ultra Ego and ran it by Toriyama. Toriyama approved it, and it's made its way to the manga. So whether that happened before Toriyama finished writing the script for this movie, we simply don't know yet. But as we do know, there's been a significant time skip between the Broly movie and Super Hero, so there's a good chunk of space to say that Vegeta could have achieved Ultra Ego in that, even if they decide not to show the actual achievement of the form itself. Goku will have had all of this time to continue working on Ultra Instinct, so I would be surprised if we didn't see some progression in these forms in the movie at all, even if only by mention. And finally, number 1, Gamma Cell. I'm sorry if that was a little anticlimactic because I have covered this in a video previously, but as time passes we get more and more hints and suggestions that the bad guy of this film will be Cell in some way, shape or form. And to me, there could be no other number 1 in this list simply from the sheer amount of people discussing this topic. I mean, if Cell isn't in this movie, I think a lot of people are going to be more surprised than not surprised. It's entirely possible that in some way the Red Ribbon Army retrieved a piece of Cell, his tail, some dead cells from the Kamehameha, a Cell Jr.'s arm, etc. There are so many ways I could go with this, and then program it so that it could absorb Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 at the right time, resulting in Gamma Cell, which I think is a pretty badass name as well. All this culminating in Cell receiving a new form, Gohan getting his rematch with Cell, etc. It all just seems to make sense. But as I said previously, I did cover this in a recent video in much more detail, so remember to check that video out for an in-depth look at Gamma Cell and his potential story. So there's the top 5 theories I'm expecting to come into this movie. What do you guys think? Do you have any big theories you have for the movie? Well, let me know in the comments down below. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for future uploads, and until we meet again, bye!